The message hit me like a sucker punch I never saw coming. At first, I thought it had to be a mistake. My ex was supposedly going to stay at our house for a few weeks, and apparently there was no room for discussion. I sat frozen in my car, staring at the screen for a full minute, trying to process what I was reading. It was Thursday, 7:42 p.m., and I was parked in the grocery store lot, midway through picking up dinner after work. My first thought, she must have written it wrong. Autocorrect. A joke. Something. But as I read it over and over, a cold knot tightened in my stomach. I called her immediately. No answer. Then came the text. We'll talk later. I'm serious. Please don't make this difficult. Emily and I had been married for 5 years. We weren't perfect, but I thought we had something solid. She was a high school guidance counselor, the kind of person people trusted immediately. Soft-spoken, empathetic, someone who could calm chaos. Her ex, Daniel, was the opposite, pure chaos incarnate. I had met him once early on, and he had this instinct to size up every man as a rival, even when there was no reason to. By the time I got home, my hands were shaking on the wheel. I ran through everything I wanted to say, calm, measured, mature. No yelling, no scene, just questions. Walking in, she was in the kitchen, hair tied back, wine glass in hand, acting like nothing had happened. "You got my text?" she asked. "Yeah," I said, setting down the bags. "I got it. I just didn't get the part where you decided we'd host your ex here." She sighed like I was overreacting. "He's going through a rough patch. Lost his apartment. Doesn't have family nearby. It's temporary and non-negotiable." I repeated her words slowly, letting them settle. "Yes," she confirmed, because apparently I had already agreed for him. Silence filled the room, only the refrigerator humming in the background. I looked at her, really looked, and realized I didn't recognize the woman standing in front of me anymore. "You made this decision for both of us," I said quietly. "You're overreacting. You always think the worst of people." She shot back. "No, I only think the worst of situations that look exactly like this." Her eyes narrowed, her usual defensive wall rising. "He's not a threat, Mike. You're just insecure." The word cut sharp. She had used it before, always a way to dismiss me. But this time something inside me shifted quietly and fully without a word. I walked down the hall to the guest room she prepared for him. Bed made, spare toothbrush waiting. She had planned this for days, maybe weeks. My chest tightened. This wasn't about an ex anymore. It was about respect. Back in the kitchen, she scrolled through her phone. "I told him you might not take it well," she said without looking up. "You told him before you told me." I said, voice low. "Please don't be dramatic," she replied, cold. Something inside me hardened. I picked up my phone, opened her message, and typed the only response that felt right. "No way." She glanced at the buzzing screen. What's that supposed to mean? It meant the conversation was over. He wasn't staying. If that was non-negotiable for her, maybe we needed to renegotiate something far bigger. Her mouth opened, but no words came. For the first time in a long while, she had no answer. The silence between us was heavy, electric, final. I grabbed my keys. "I'm going to my brother's for the night," I said. "When I come back, he better not be here." She didn't stop me, didn't follow, just stood there, wine glass trembling slightly in her hand. As I closed the door, something unexpected happened. I wasn't angry anymore. The next afternoon, his car was in my driveway, a dark gray SUV, polished, self-satisfied, much like its owner. I lingered for a moment, gripping my keys, torn between going inside or driving away. But this was my home, my life. I wasn't about to let a man from my wife's past intrude on her present. Inside, laughter came from the kitchen. Not warm, easy laughter, but sharp, high-pitched, the kind people use when trying too hard. Emily turned mid-laugh, her face freezing. "You're early," she said. I didn't realize I needed to give notice. I replied. Daniel was beside her, smirking like he had the first time I met him. The same effortless confidence of someone who always slips through unscathed. "Hey, Mike," he said, like we were old friends. Hope you don't mind me crashing here for a bit. I looked at Emily. I do mind, she said, jaw tight. We talked about this. She added, no. I corrected her. You talked. I disagreed. Then you went ahead anyway. Daniel stepped closer, arms folded. Look, man, I'm not here to start anything. Just need a place to get back on my feet. I took a slow breath. Then get a hotel. Emily shot me a sharp look. You're being unreasonable. No, I said calmly. I'm being disrespected. There's a difference. A long silence. Daniel muttered something about fragile egos and shrugged. That was it. I walked past him, grabbed my laptop and a folder from the office, and returned to the living room. If he's still here tonight, I'm not, I told Emily steadily. She stared like I'd become a stranger. Are you really doing this? Yes, I'm done doing this, I said, and I left. That night, I stayed at my brother's. When he asked what had happened, I gave the bare minimum. She let someone else move in before giving me a say. He didn't push for more. For several days, I didn't reach out. I ignored her texts, shifting from guilt to frustration. On the fourth day, one message came. He's gone. You can come home. I stared at it, then typed back. I'm not sure I live there anymore. 2 days later, she appeared at my brother's door. Eyes red, hair disheveled, nothing like the composed Emily I knew. He left, she whispered. I told him to go. I made a mistake. I studied her face, and for the first time, the old instinct to fix everything was gone. All I felt was clarity. You didn't make a mistake, I said quietly. You made a choice, and so did I. She shook her head, tears streaming. I didn't mean to hurt you. I know, I said, but you did, and that changes everything. She stepped forward, hand reaching out as if by habit. I stepped back. No anger, no bitterness, just a distance no apology could bridge. I'll send for my things next week, I said. She opened her mouth, but nothing came out. Perhaps, for the first time, she understood. The man she always assumed would stay had finally learned to walk away. I passed her and walked to my truck. The late afternoon light fell softly across the street, the kind that makes endings feel gentler than they really are. I got into the truck, started the engine, and my phone buzzed. A new message from her. Can we talk? I typed the same words I had sent that night. No way. Then I set the phone down, shifted into drive, and left the house that had once been ours. For the first time in years, I didn't look back.